That's so weird. That's so weird that the live just cut out. Okay. Okay. The live just cut out of nowhere. But this is part two, I suppose. And now we're talking about the laws of abundance. So odd. Anyway, don't even know why we did that, but let me know how you're feeling as you're hopping on. If you're hopping back on with me, thank you so much. So last video we were starting on the law of intention and desire. So I'm just going to pick right back up on that because it cut out. As I mentioned before, in Vision Vortex, there are about 20 laws that we go deeply in depth into, and actually using those every day and with your own energetic blueprint, noticing how it's coming up in patterns in your life and using them to manifest and attract money, and using them to actually build your business so it's supportive of the abundance you want. But I don't like to overwhelm people, so we were talking about the top 5 that I find that happen the most subconsciously and have the most vital subconscious transformations once they're deeply understood and integrated, because they're so deeply ingrained, and they seem to be a lot more difficult and a lot more challenging than the others. So on the law of intention and desire, this is the top one for me, because everything starts with a desire, a soul desire that your soul desires to experience. And this is again why it's so important to go internally and see your vision, your mission, your dharma, the totality of your purpose, and see how to fully embody that and become the identity of that. Because when you become the identity of that, your soul experience and what your soul desires begins to become the forefront, that begins to become the dominant vibration. And from that desire, you attract opportunities that directly align with the desire. You magnetize things to your field, and now you have to discern which ones are for you and which one are not. Make decisions in alignment with that desire. And your intention is created from desire. So we're going back to that thing of spending money and being okay with money coming in and out, flowing in and through. If you're spending so much money, and maybe you're feeling like, okay, well, I have no problem with the money coming in, me going out, because I know it's going to come back. But it's maybe not knowing, being okay with that, but the intention behind having to spend so much, because that is also an attachment style to money. It's just letting it go and not being able to hold on to any of it. It's like having that sense of having a hole being burnt through your pocket, that you just can never hold on to any of your money. And that's a sense of being able to hold on to your power. And if you're spending from a place of, I need this in order to be this, I need to invest in that in order to have this, I have to do this in order to have that. Or maybe you sparked a desire from seeing somebody have this, seeing somebody travel there, and using those types of desires from these places that is not a soul place, but it comes from an external source. Those are not the correct desires. Those are the desires that are on a lower vibration. Those are the desires that attract circumstances that you do not want in the long term. Those come from instant gratification. When you have a desire, it's like a burning sensation in your body. It's such passion, it's such thrill, it's such vitalization, it's such love for it. It's something that you never escape, never get away from. You notice it in everything. You talk about it with yourself, talk about it with your partner, talk about it with whoever consistently, but just never take the step to go forward. It is a deep love of yours, a deep connection of yours. And even if it's not to what you're directly doing, the mission and the reason why. That's why find it so important to notice your mission modality and make sure it's in alignment with your intention. Because when your mission modality is in alignment with your intention, meaning if you have the desire to have a lot of freedom so you can be a philanthropist, so you can travel across the world, so you can spend more time with your children, how are you setting up your business, setting up your system, setting up your mechanism, setting up your modality so that you can have that? Maybe you don't want a hands-on coaching business. Maybe you just want to be able to passively sell products. Maybe you just want to have speeches, whatever. Maybe hold monthly rituals, whatever. Those desires need to lead your intention, and your intention is what creates your focus. And that's where you need to That's what we're talking about creating in the present. Your focus is the present, creating from what you are in control of, because we are in a co-creation process. So if you're in co-creation, meaning that there's another person in this co, meaning this is a partnership, meaning you cannot do everything on your own. There are perspectives that you're not seeing. There are conspiracies and actions being taken behind the scenes that you are not aware of to get you to where you want to go. That's why your intuition is leading you to specific desires, specific days, at specific times. But if you follow those hunches, follow those nerves, follow those desires, then the next one starts to happen, which is which is the law of flow. And this is a brain, I'm a science nerd too, so this is actually a dopamine thing. When you notice that you're really in a groove, when you notice that you've really sparked this flow, I can't describe it, this fluidity, where something is just oozing and pouring out of you, where you cannot create fast enough, where you're so focused, where it feels like no time has passed by and you're just in this vortex. Have you ever had that happen to you before? How did that feel? Like when you were in that state of flow, how did that feel to you? Type it in the comments. Please let me know. How did that feel? Because for me, I get such tunnel vision, but it's like everything else is not existing. I'm literally such in a deep mode of creation. I can do stuff for hours, for days, for me going to sleep, and stuff is being created in my mind that I get up and is created instantaneously, that it never just stops. That is the state of flow. That is the state where quantum leaps come from. That is the state of creation. When you are a feminine essence being, when you are a feminine essence being, you need to understand that you create from flow. Listen to the words: feminine, flow, fluid, stream. What element is that? Water. When you're thinking about materialization, what is that? Grounding, rooting, clearing, materializing, earth. Both yin polarities, meaning that when you are a feminine essence being, you need to really cultivate and leverage that. If you have a way of creating where you can batch create content in one day and create a month's or 2 months worth of content in a day, do that shit. You don't need to have this content schedule of you create once a week or having to create every single day or needing to not batch content. No, do it in the way that you create and go in that state of flow, because that state of flow, that state of um of least effort, which is another law, the law of least effort, taking the road that takes the less amount of work, because that's what your subconscious enjoys. The law of least effort, the law of flow, the law of desire, they all weave together. All of the laws weave together and build on top of each other. The feeling is so good. I love it. It's so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling, meaning you want to do more of it. When you're in flow, you get energy, you get hyped. Your body starts to literally heat up and charge. Like, when you're doing a cold plunge, maybe not, but like immerging yourself in freezing cold water, like when you're in a pool and you're having fun, you're chilling, but the water was freezing when you got in there. So, what happened when you were just doing it? The law of allowing, exactly, the law of surrender. That is surrendering to the fact that you know it will be created. You know that it will come up. I could give you an example of me was trying to create this outline for this immersion, trying to create slides, trying to do all of these other things that other people do, where it seems so teachy and whatnot, but that's just not my vibe. That's not my essence. So when I was trying to create from that place, nothing was coming out. It was feeling so forced. It was feeling so frustrating. It was feeling so dissatisfying. But when I allow myself to sit, when I allow myself to wait, when I allow the inspiration to come to me, but while still promoting, while still saying that I'm going to do it, while still putting my intention out here from the desire, but still allowing myself to create how I'm going to create, allowing myself the time and space to get into that creative mode, allowing the knowledge and wisdom to come through as it's going to come through, and trusting that. Now that's puts you in a state of flow. I literally did all of them, all of the outlines in one day in 1 hour. No slides, no nothing, just how I see that the outline needs to come up, because that is your inner genius. That is your inner specialization. That is your active service, is creating the way that you create, because the people that want to connect with you, the people that hear you, the people that see you are going to be attracted to your native creative essence. They're going to be attracted to your native language, your native active service, and that is the state of flow. So if you're not allowing yourself to flow, if you're not allowing the stream, if you're not allowing the fluidity, then you're not in a state of receptivity. You're not open to opportunity. You're not allowing an income, right? I hope that makes sense. Please let me know in the comments if that makes sense, or if you have another question, or if that was just like any of that. Wow, I only have one more left. See, and I be going, I'm in this and I just be in the flow, and I'm because kicking my webcam. My flow, I love talking. I love writing. My Aquariusness, that's just the air in me, but also my water needs fluidity. It needs space to flow. It needs that. And I used to get really uncomfortable with not having the necessary preparedness and the polish and the cleanness. But when I get to talking, it literally just comes out. So me trying to force a fake presentation was not going to hit the way that it hit. It wasn't going to be as profound. It was not going to be, yes, I love it. I love when I attract Aquariuses. I don't know what it is. It's always because I'm a Cancer moon and a Cancer rising, but my Aquarius is right there, and I always attract Aquarius. It's the one consistent. They all have different moons, all have different risings, but most of the people in my field have some type of heavy Aquarius placement. I fucking love it. But now we're on to the law of detachment, and that's so interesting and loving and synchronistic that we talked about the law. Wow. Aquarius, Sun, Cancer, Moon, love you, girl. We're connected. I see it. I see you. The law of allowing is the law of surrender. But this is ultimately the law of detachment. And when I'm saying detaching, I'm meaning detaching from the meaning, detaching from the timeline, detaching from expectation, and allowing it to happen the way that it is supposed to and divinely unfold. Again, you are a co-creator. So if you do not surrender, that means you do not trust. So imagine you're in a relationship and somebody doesn't fucking trust you. You're going to get pretty freaking annoyed and just stop even trying. Because you're like, bro, can you let me do my thing? Can you let me do my job? Like that one person at your job at work who's always like trying to take your position, trying to do what you're doing, trying to overtake and control you, even though they have their own job to be doing. That's going back to focusing on shit that does not matter. Stop focusing on things that are out of your realm of control, out of your realm of perspective, is literally not even in your peripheral. That's not your focus. That's not your job. So if you detach from the meaning that, oh, this means that they don't want what I'm offering. Oh, this means that I suck. Oh, this means that I shouldn't have tried. Oh, this means it's not going to work. Oh, this means my dreams aren't possible for me. No, it don't mean none of that. It means that you learn something, and seeing that, okay, I tried this. What did I expect? What didn't actually go right? What was I doing? How did I create this? How was I shaming myself? What were my beliefs? What were my behaviors? Where is the subconscious programming? What was I supposed to learn here? What is the pattern that is coming up? What am I observing? You have to become real curious with yourself, because your curiosity is not what killed the cat. It's what ascended the cat. It's what continued the cat. The curiosity is what kept the cat alive. The curiosity is why the cat has 9 lives. I'm also a poet, if you didn't know it. Oh my goodness. My clients and I are usually laughing on calls because I am hilarious, and because sometimes things get heavy and you just got to laugh it through, because it's also serious, but also not that serious at the same time. So when you're surrendering and allowing and just letting the divine timing take place, you have kept your desires and your intentions in the back of your mind, guiding your every move, guiding your behavior, embodying your identity to be given and birthed out, offering, but knowing that you're human, knowing that you're experiencing, knowing that you cannot control everything, knowing life be life. Life just happens, and life is going to continue to happen no matter how many plans you make. So it is just allowing yourself to, what is that? I heard it as a real sound, but it actually came from Flash, which is you make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, and then throw away the plan. And then you make a new one. And you're going to continue to do that in every single phase. You're going to continue to do that in all aspects of your life. So if you do not detach from the fact that this, whatever meaning, whatever timeline, whatever expectation, whatever opinion, whatever belief, and knowing all of those are an illusion. All of those are a part of your experience. All of those are your teachers. You feel me? Because when you work on these energetic boundaries, when you deepen your energetic exchange, when you deepen your energetic expression, because pay attention to all the people that have gained wealth, all of the people that you are inspired by in a holistic way, all of the people that have what you want. Do they look carefree or do they look worried? Right? Because they are not focused on things they can control. They're only focused on growing and up-leveling themselves, creating from that desire, creating from that intention, creating from that vision, and setting up energetic boundaries from themselves that actually aid to their evolution. Like I call the laws of abundance and the principles of opulence for me are boundaries. And boundaries are meant to be broken. They're barriers, they're baselines. So you always can create new boundaries, just like you can always create new beliefs. You can always create new baselines, new barriers, right? So when you are knowing that this is just the ebb and the flow, this is what's creating your container so you can have a systematic structure that is not icky, that is not gross. It does not lead to burnout. It is not full of bullshit. It is not it is not a load of hooey with a razzle dazzle bow on top. It is actually you just having a natural flow, a natural essence, a natural understanding of yourself, your energetic blueprint, what's happening around you, and how to connect with that in a way so you have less resistance. Because resistance is just telling you you need to lean more into alignment. Like fear is just telling you how to deepen your power, deepen the depth of yourself, open up yourself even more. That's all that fear is telling you that that's actually more part of your purpose. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's landing for you. And please tell me if that's hitting home and that these laws make sense, because the activity yesterday was getting to the facts and feelings and actually identifying your mission, your calling, and your purpose. But today I need you to establish what is a sense of enough. It's a setup for what's to come. Always. You can allow it to block you. I don't like the word block. It's a barrier. Because blocks are usually a lot harder to move. Barriers you can usually just open. You can usually just lift up at a press of a button. You can literally just move with your mind. It's just a thought thing for me that really helped me change, but everything is a setup for what's to come. If you allow it to be. If you make it a choice of what to be, because if you ask for something, if you want to be something, if you choose to do something, a lot of people feel like if you want to do something but do not yet have the skills to do it, that means that it's not possible. But you can gain new skills every day. So while you're in the process of gaining those skills, just like gaining this new identity, it's going to be like working out. When you first start working out, that shit suck. You're pumping, you're like, ooh, my body, my muscles hurt. For me, it's all in this neck area. For me, working out, me starting yoga, me starting to do Pilates. So in the beginning, it hurts. This reminds me of dancing when I had first started ballet, first started point. In the beginning, it hurt, but after a while, I was standing and spinning on my toes with no problem. The bleeding and my toenails falling out eventually stopped. Me feeling the pain. And this is about to hit. Me feeling the pain was the duality I needed to push me towards pleasure. There is always a thin line between what caused you pain and what caused you pleasure. Think about sex. When the same thing that can feel good and stimulate you, but after you've gotten the stimulation you need, it can get to a point of overstimulation. There's a very fine line in between that. So all the pain that you feel is an opportunity to move through, an opportunity to deepen the connection with yourself, deepen the love, deepen the compassion, deepen the appreciation and the gratitude you have for yourself to be able to hold both sides of yourself. That's what integrating in totality means. Integrating all facets of it. Because when you're transforming and transmuting and moving through and understanding and deepening and connecting your connection with yourself, you're connecting your deeper connection to your purpose, your deeper connection to others, deeper connections to your desires, being able to expand your expression, expand your vision, explore it. Wow, my words. When I start getting into the flow, my words start tripping over each other. But transmute and transform emotions, transform your experiences, transform euphoria, transform expression, get into ecstasy, creating this form of holistic wealth because how you do one thing is how you do all things. Being able to hold this innate boldness, this innate liberation, this innate creation because you have a deep rooted sense of enough, because you feel worthy and knowing that money is not your sense of worth. How much you charge is not synonymous to how much you're worth. How much you've gone through, how much you suffered is not synonymous to how much you're worth. How much you sacrifice, how much you struggle does not make you worth more. You do not need to earn, you do not need to do, you do not need to fight, struggle, consequence your way to be worth more money, to be worth more value, to be worth more love. You need to understand that you have that sense of enoughness within you. That's coming back to the purity of yourself, coming back to the wholeness of yourself, coming back to being able to create from this pure place of enjoyment, this pure place of fulfillment, this pure place of flow and ease and fluidity that gives you the prosperity, that activates your energetic blueprint, that moves you into a new state of leadership, that creates the generational legacy that you want. And when you know that, when you're moving through that, it's not so much of it's no longer a sense of victimization. It's no longer of a sense of woe is me? Why is this happening? I'm doing everything I should be doing. Why isn't what I want happening? And instead you move to this sense of, okay, well, that was the wrong path. What can I do now to create it? Okay, I want to invest in this, but I don't yet have the money. Okay, I want to have this business, but I don't yet feel supported. What can I do to create that support? What can I do to create more income? Why am I having this block? And getting really curious about all of the beliefs, all of the things that you feel innately blocking you, the habitual thoughts, the habitual emotions, the habitual behaviors that happen on autopilot, that law of patterns, hypnotic rhythm, I prefer. Because I got that from this book, Outwitting the Devil. Because a state of hypnosis is a state of deep subconscious programming, deep subconscious overwhelm, deep subconscious frustration. But it's such a familiarity that is so fucking comfortable, even if you don't like it, it is your fallback. So if you want to ascend to a different energetic height, you have to ascend your beliefs, your behaviors with it. That's why it's easier to change at an identity level because everything trickles down from the identity instead of trying to change the behaviors, instead of trying to change the beliefs, instead of changing the values. Just change the identity and everything trickles down below it. But that takes your putting yourself out of the state of hypnosis, out of the state of habitualness, out of the patterns, noticing and recognizing and seeing and embracing and loving on and forgiving yourself for these patterns. No longer shaming, no longer judging, no longer resenting, no longer doing any of this and releasing all of that from you. Because holding on, you can only bring so much with you to the next level when you're letting go of an identity. So if you're trying to carry all of this junk, all of these rocks, all of these things that are not serving you, it's about always questioning, are you having a negative emotion regards to the product, So when you have a negative emotion in regards to the progress, do you fight or accept those feelings? I accept all feelings. There, every time you fight a feeling, the feeling keeps coming back. There is literally no reason to fight a feeling, because then you're fighting your humanity. You're fighting yourself. Then you're going to be at a consistent war at yourself, because you're trying to suppress an innate part of you. That emotion is trying to teach you something. All emotions and all experiences are here to teach you, because nobody else is going to experience something in the same way. We can both go to the same concert. We can both go to the same movie. Let's go, because that's more likely for me. We can both go to the same movie. I can love the movie. I can feel so deeply moved, and you can feel like that movie was trash. And those are the different experiences. So nobody is going to feel your emotions. So those are your biggest teachers. Those teach you your truth. Those teach you what you need to accept. Those teach you your deep embrace. So you don't need to fight anything. It's always about embracing with loving and nurturing and seeing, okay, and not trying to label it. Maybe not even labeling it as a negative emotion immediately, but not trying to label it as sadness, frustration, any of the things, just labeling it as, I'm not feeling how I normally feel. I wonder what's going on, and getting really curious with yourself, like you would. I have children. So getting really curious on how they're feeling, getting really curious on what's going on in their mind, getting really curious, because even if you're having an emotion right now, that emotion didn't happen right now. That emotion was created in the previous moments, in the previous hours, in the previous days, because you're always in the midst of a cycle. So your past is always going to create your present. So you always have to be mindful and try to create as much from the present as possible. So I hope that answered your question, because I don't want to get off on a long tangent and not answer your question. So for those of you who have signed up for the free immersion, for the actual on the list of it, I will be sending out the link to the replay and also the integration activity exercise, which is going to be establishing your sense of enough and some questions to really define what enough is to you, and really begin to ground and trust that that is available and possible for you, and also establishing a sense of worth, a sense of worthiness, a sense of, okay, I have the power, and really regaining that sense of innate power. Yes, that made sense. Beautiful. I'm so glad that that was helpful for you. This is the part two. So I believe the first one was about 45 minutes. This is about 20 minutes. So it's about a little over an hour. So I would say rewatch it again, come up with any awareness, because the second time you'll be watching it from a more heightened perspective, and really just opening up your awareness, bringing things to the forefront, and just allowing you to really, what's the word? I'm going to say it again, regain your sense of power, because how much power you hold, how much comfortability you have wielding your power, is how much money you're able to attract, how much abundance you can create from, how much your prosperity is deeply rooted in your body. And you being able to trust that, you being able to ascend with that, you being able to ascend your mind, body, and soul to that energetic baseline. I said yesterday, we have an energetic baseline and an energetic ceiling. So being able to have your baseline meet your ceiling, so your ceiling can continue to go up. So your ceiling can continue to grow as you continue to grow. And as you grow, your roots get deeper. You go deeper into this so-called underworld. You get deeper into your chaos. You get deeper into your quote unquote negativity, because you transmuting that, you bringing those shadows to the light, you being okay with your full essence and embodying the dark and the divine. Well, that makes you revolutionary. That makes you a visionary. And those are the people that get what they want. Those are the people that are in places of leadership. Those are the people that are going to allow us to move to the next paradigm. Those are the entrepreneurs that are coming into the space right now. Those are the mystical beings, the mystical leaders, the feminine express being, the artists, the influencers that are coming right now to create a sense of generational wealth, to really create a new world that is a pivotal point in history for us. And I'm so happy to be on part of that journey. I'm so happy that you are a part of that journey and coming on in this experience with me. Thank you for everybody that entered into here live, asked questions, interacted, all of you that are catching the replay. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.